right now on 12 News at 10.
I'm Chase Golightly in Goodyear, where a police officer is under criminal investigation for potentially misusing the city's flock camera system. What we know coming up.
High numbers on the monsoon meter for Wednesday, and storm chances will continue through Thursday before we dry things out and heat up for the weekend.
And a Valley mayor gets out of a ticket from one of those speed cameras. What we're learning about the case tonight.
12 News at 10 starts now.
Thanks, everyone, for joining us for 12 News at 10. I'm Kariba Devine.
And I'm Troy Hayden. Tonight, yet another Valley Police Department is investigating potential misuse of its flock camera system by one of its officers. That system reads license plates on the city streets. This is the third incident in a week where this situation has come to light.
Yeah, that's right. The latest one at the Goodyear Police Department. 12 News journalist Chase Golightly is joining us now from Goodyear with what we know. Chase?
Caribe, please tell us that officer is at the center of a criminal investigation for inappropriate use of the system. At the same time today, we learned a neighboring police department here in the Valley announced they're cutting ties with the controversial cameras. Goodyear has 33 flock automated license plate readers across the city, used to catch stolen vehicles, wanted fugitives, and people suffering from Alzheimer's or dementia that have gone missing. On Tuesday, Goodyear Police Department announced it's investigating one of its officers for possibly misusing the controversial technology. In a statement, the department said during an audit of the system back in July, they found activity involving an officer that raised concerns about a potential violation of department policy, putting that officer on leave and restricted their access to department computer systems. Then during the investigation, they discovered that officer may have broken the law, writing they identified information that raised the possibility of a criminal violation, leading to a criminal investigation now being done by the Glendale Police Department. This is the third time within a week of police departments announcing their flock systems may have been misused. Chandler Police said they are looking into that possibility with someone in their department. And Apache Junction said one of its officers resigned after reportedly using the cameras to track down his wife. Then on Tuesday, Tempe announced it's starting the process of doing away with Flock's license plate readers and will begin the search for a new vendor.
I'm not aware of any misuse of our Flock cameras or the data gathered by these Flock cameras by Tempe Police Department.
This comes as Pinal County Sheriff also announced last week he won't renew the county's Flock contract, citing Fourth Amendment concerns. Tempe City Council member Bobby Nichols, who is against Flock, said he has similar concerns. The city will also no longer share its Flock data with anyone else, including federal and local agencies.
That protects our residents by ensuring that that data is not getting out to immigration and custom enforcement, because ultimately we can't control anything that happens outside of our city. And if we're going to be using these cameras, we need to make sure that that data is as secure as we can possibly make it.
For now, those cameras will remain in place. Tempe launching this transparency page showing data on how its cameras are being used, as well as whose flock camera systems in Arizona they have access to.
By ending our data sharing agreements related to flock cameras and putting the transparency portal in place, we are mitigating the risks that are created by the use of ALPRs.
And today we reached out to multiple cities here in the Valley for their statements regarding their flock camera systems. So far, we've heard from Avondale, Mesa, Gilbert, and Scottsdale, and they say they've had no reported cases of misuse with their systems. We're live in Goodyear tonight. Chase Golightly, 12 News.
Holy moly. Yeah, holy moly is correct. How about this video sent to us by a 12 News weather watcher capturing rain pouring down in Cornville, which is kind of up near Sedona, north and a little bit west of the valley. Deborah sending this in. Thank you, Deborah. How about that? So that's rain. I mean, that's real. And look at the barbecue. The cover on the barbecue's flapping around. So, Lindsay, I guess the big question is, the high country's getting some. I know we're getting some out to the east and the south.
Yep.
Will it make it here into town?
Well, there's still a chance for the overnight. It's not definite at this point, but we do have a nice setup that could produce some storms over the lower deserts through the overnight. And on top of that, the possibility of some blowing dust. First, we'll take you up to the north, where some of these light to moderate showers still coming down as of 10:05 across much of the Navajo Nation, extending down through whole Holbrook and Show Low. This is pushing toward the Flagstaff area. And then some very strong thunderstorms down near Safford and Sierra Vista. These have been virtually stationary, very slow moving. However, as they move over the lower deserts of southern Pinal County, can't rule out a couple outflow boundaries that could generate new storms, but that would only be very isolated activity into the overnight. But a lot of times when thunderstorms die down, they also put outflow boundaries that can kick up some dust. So we will keep that chance through the overnight as well. We have less than an hour to go, though, of the flood watch for southeastern Arizona. For the overnight hours here in Phoenix, we're looking at about a 20% chance before sunrise. Again, this is going to be very isolated and also the possibility of some dust, but our chances go up again tomorrow night. And I'll have more on that coming up in my full forecast. All
right, Lindsay, thank you. Tonight, we now know the two people on board a plane that crashed near Payson. They are now dead. The small plane went down around 6 o'clock last night. Today, investigators released the names of the two, a 75-year-old named Brad Lawrence and a 19-year-old named Carter Buckner. Both are from Payson. No word yet on what caused the crash. The FAA and National Transportation Safety Board are investigating.
Avondale police releasing the names also of the couple found buried in their backyard in that strange case out of Litchfield Park. The remains of Hector and Larissa Flores, found last week after the couple was reported missing. Police went to the home, they looked through the yard, they started digging, and they found their two bodies. Their son, 27-year-old Matthew Flores, is a suspect in their murders. Police think he's left the country. The U.S. Marshals are now leading the search for him.
Tonight, we're learning how the mayor of Scottsdale avoided a $334 ticket that stemmed from a speed enforcement camera within her own city.
12 News journalist Gianni Jadalang joins us in studio, speaking, I should say, with the legal expert. And so they have a couple of ways to notify you, right? They send you a letter, and if you don't answer that, you got to get served. And if they both fail, you get this.
Several different ways. Troy Caribe, police say a contract process server made several attempts to serve the citation at Mayor Lisa Borowski's listed residence. And 4 months later, without a court appearance, the citation was dismissed. But according to the mayor, she says she had no knowledge of the citation before the media contacted her. This is the intersection where Scottsdale police say Mayor Lisa Borowski was caught driving 18 miles over the speed limit on October 14th of last year. She was traveling northbound on Scottsdale Road. A traffic citation was filed with Scottsdale City Court and mailed to the mayor on October 31st. A contract process server made 3 attempts to serve it at her listed residence between December 30th of 2025 and January 21st of this year. Legal expert Josh Colesrud says those attempts come at a cost.
Scottsdale City, they do use third-party contractors to actually serve the tickets. And generally it costs them around $80, but it only costs around $50 for the person paying the ticket.
Colesrud says those third-party contractors receive a portion of the fees collected.
They do serve a lot of them, and they do have third-party contractors who get a percentage of the fees that are taken in from those that they do serve.
He says those fees can range from about $80 to $150, depending on how many attempts are made.
The way that it goes up is by the number of times that the processor server attempts to serve the person who they think has the ticket. So like if they go to your home and you're not there and they come back the next day, that would raise the fee from like $80 to all the way up to $150.
In the mayor's case, Scottsdale police say the process server was unable to make contact with anyone at the residence, meaning the citation was never served and was later dismissed in February. We reached out to the mayor's team about the case. They sent us a statement reading in part, quote, "Unfortunately, I had no information or knowledge of it whatsoever before I was contacted by a reporter. And while police say they don't attempt to serve at the offender's place of employment, it's not completely off the table."
They would go to work if the person already had an active warrant or something else involved, but it is the policy of the Scottsdale Police Department and every other jurisdiction in Arizona when it comes to photo radar tickets to only serve the person at their residence in their home.
Scottsdale police say for those repeat offenders, officers will handle the citation service and visit the offender's workplace, but it is a rare occurrence. Live in studio, I'm Tiani Jadling, 12 News.
All right, Tiani, thank you. It is official. Governor Katie Hobbs has chosen former Mesa Mayor John Giles as her running mate. Giles was a Republican for decades before switching to independent back in May. He served as Mesa's mayor for 10 years. Hobbs and Giles will face Republican nominee Andy Biggs and his running mate Sina Kerr in November. The winners will take office in January.
Tomorrow on Today in AZ, you will be able to meet both of them. Governor Hobbs and John Giles will be joining the 12 News studio, be here in depth talking about their campaign, their vision for Arizona as a team. So our morning show begins tomorrow bright and early at 4:26. It's also streaming. Plus, Arizona losing a lot of teachers, and schools are trying to crack the code to get them to stay. Tomorrow morning, we go beyond the paycheck to look at different approaches keeping teachers from burning out. That's tomorrow on 12 News Today in AZ.
A Gilbert teenager who stepped in to help a dazed elderly woman in 100-plus degree temperatures was recognized by Gilbert city leaders tonight.
Yeah, last month, 14-year-old Royal Cothran riding his bike. And look at that head of hair. I'd kill for that head of hair. I love that.
Great hair.
Yeah, and so he noticed Teresa Morgan walking alone in the heat. Something didn't seem right. So he stopped and said, "Hey, are you okay?" Her response was off, he thought. She couldn't seem to remember where she was going. Aww. So he contacted her son, stayed by her side until first responders got there and made sure she was okay.
It was 108 outside. I was sweating. I was about to go home because it was so hot. She was leaning against the fence, like walking and stumbling. So I noticed she needed help. Brought her to the shade. I called her son because she remembered her number. And then he came, he called the fire department, and she got checked out, and then, yeah.
Okay, that is a boy who is being raised right.
Good job. We got a key to the city?
That is awesome. Okay, so his compassion quickly gathering national attention, including People magazine. And during tonight's Gilbert City Council meeting, he was honored and given a Citizen Hero Award, and right there, a key to the town. Wow, great job. Yeah, me too.
Good job, Royal.
Well, a semi-truck driver thankfully is okay after monsoon winds tipped him over while driving this weekend, and now he's on a mission to find the man who stopped to help him after becoming trapped inside. And from prank to panic, the warning that one Valley Police Department is sharing after two students caused a chaotic scene at a local restaurant.
We are broadcasting live for you now from downtown Phoenix. It is 10:13. We'll be right back.